Very few things to learn.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a hand up.
Okay. Only whatever handout you have, we'll learn from there. You don't have any handout? Okay, you can keep it. Okay. We'll begin our class with the Sahana Vavatu mantra. If you know, please join me. Otherwise, I'm going to teach you that mantra later in the class. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have very limited time to share number of points to be remembered, to be applied when you chant Vedic mantras. I'll give you few points to remember when you chant Vedic mantras. Vedic word itself is made up. It's not Sanskritam. It is English word, Vedic. So let us convert that word as Veda Pathanam, chanting of Vedas. Few salient point I will share with you. Point one is Vedic chanting is a perfectly formulated oral tradition. Right? Want me to repeat? A perfectly formulated oral tradition. That's point one. Then you have to define what is the Vedas. Veda word comes from the root with to know. Now convert it as noun, it becomes Vedaha. There are certain grammatical rules are there. So it becomes Vedaha. Veda means knowledge. In a teaching tradition, you come across 4 Vedas. All of you are familiar, or you must have come across these words at least. Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Atharva Vedaha. These are the 4 Vedas. What is the topic of Veda? When you take the whole entire Veda, as mentioned in Pujya Swami Dayananji's Tattvabodha book, it has 3 topics to offer or to discuss human beings. One is called Karma Kandaha. Karmas means what? One is prayer, second is rituals. How to do prayer? Simple prayer, without involving any yajna or materials. And the rituals, know-how of the rituals. Kanda means a chapter dedicated to explain, to know how to perform prayer and ritualistic prayer. So that is the Karma Kanda. Kanda means chapter. I will not repeat that word again and again. Okay. Then you are graduated from Karma Kanda to Upasana Kanda. That is called meditation. Now you say that enough of pujas. It's not that you are tired of pujas. You say that pujas we have done enough, and we will try to see what is this meditation or upasana. So a lot of Omkara upasana etc. are given in Vedas. That is the section 2. Then from there, somewhere the self-inquiry begins when your mind becomes very subtle, like you have been listening to Swamiji. So important part or topic of the Veda is Jnanam, self-knowledge. That is called Vedanta. Vedanto nama Upanishad Pramanam. When you refer to the word Vedanta, then Upanishad word is remembered, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutras. These are 3 important books to be studied. So that is the topic of the Vedas. So Vedas are 4 in numbers and 3 topics. One is Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda and Jnana Kanda. And it is oral tradition. Just remember. The mantra or chanting mantra has gained some special attention because it requires some training how to pronounce words or syllables. So there are 6 auxiliary sciences that one is expected to study or undergo the disciplines. So there is Jyotish Shastra is there, astrology, Vyakarana, grammar, etc. You can refer to it later. One of the important auxiliary sciences is called Shiksha. Shiksha means what? Science of pronunciation. How to pronounce Sanskrit words. There are different sthanas are their placement. You open any Sanskritam book, they will give in the tabular format, which comes from the guttural, labials, etc. So it teaches, for example, Panini comes out with the sutras. So he says, Akuha Visarjiniyam Kantaha. Means what? Starting with A, Kakagaganya, Hakara, and two dots, Ramaha, when you say. They all come from throat. But the technical word is given as a guttural. Don't strain yourself, and all that, but it automatically comes, but that is the placement. So, grammarian Shri Panini Maharshi explains all that. That is what the Shiksha is, science of pronunciation. And it has 6 components one is supposed to know. It comes from the Upanishad itself. Nobody formed these things on their own and presented it to it. Because you accept Upanishad as a means of knowledge, to know myself. There is no other means. All other means that you have at your disposal, like your eyes, ears, tongue, sense of touch, they are all meant for knowing the objects. But Atma or the self or the awareness is presented as the not having any form. When it doesn't have any form, then all that you have at your disposal will not come to your aid. So only Upanishad is the source of knowledge. So there is no shortcut here. So you have to study Upanishad. You have to study Bhagavad Gita. All other sciences, they talk about the objective world. You can see, you can feel them, you can touch them. Suppose Brahman is also like that. Suppose this is the Brahman and I will keep it here. And then I say one by one, you believe me because you are in the camp. These guys must be doing some right job because they are in here for last 36 years. So I keep it here. Some form, you come and touch. You say, you touch, then I told, okay, I play some sound. Then you hear Brahman. So unfortunately, whatever you call that arrangement is not there with reference to yourself. It has no form. It is formless. I mean, we have to educate our mind from form to formless. It takes its own time. You don't have to worry about it. But the only aid comes to us to know formless is through the words of Upanishad. Okay. So there the science of pronunciation are 6 components, as I already introduced to you a few minutes ago. Okay. What are the 6 components when you chant mantra that you have to remember? What's varna? Varna means what? Letters. What are the letters? In Sanskritam, there are vowels, consonants, sibilants, diphthongs are there. For easy remembrance, what you can say, akara to hakara. Starting from A, how you say in English, A to Z, you can say in Sanskritam, akara to hakara. It covers all the consonants and all the vowels. A, E. All of you are familiar with these varnas. Why you have to know varna? Because varna has sthanas. So when you say it has to come from the guttural. Is not superficially comes from the tongue. So that's a great science. It requires a little bit more time to share deeper points with you. That will keep it reserved. Okay. So all the varnas you have to know. A, E, U, etc. Then swara. One swara, people who have studied music, the 7 notes are there. But in the context of Vedic chanting, swaras are 3 numbers. They are called swara, they call pitch. But better to have it notation, intonation marks. High intonation, low intonation, middle intonation. That's how they give the closest translation to it. I told you the first point, it is oral tradition. So rishis were concerned and also were thinking how to keep the meaning of these syllables and words intact. So they say one of the reasons they give that they came out with mechanism of denoting the swaras on each syllable. Like how you chanted just now. Om Sahana Vavatu. You didn't question you because you are here in the safest place. You followed whatever we said to you. You didn't question. So there's something to begin with is a low intonation mark, high intonation mark, and at the end of the mantra, what comes? Ma vidvishavahi. Why you have to say hai? That is the Vedic mantra rules. So it, because oral tradition, still it continues. Even though the scripture is available, you can say a scripture is available, then I can replace it. I not have to say hi, I can say hi. It's not allowed because that is the oral tradition. So high notation, low notation in middle. Yes, they have a Sanskritam name called Udattaha, Anudattaha and Swaritaha. Udatta means Uchchai Udat. Om Sahanavavatu. I mean, you have to show that, and above the na there is a line. You have to go up, etc. So number one is Varnaha, Swara. Then third is what? Matra. Matra means what? Matra means the duration that you take to pronounce syllable. A is different from A. A has one matra. A. When you say Ramaha. But when you say Sita, there are two matras. This is mentioned by the matras. One matra, two matras. There are three matras also there. That's called Pruta. When you want to some attention, then you elongate it. But here it is only one matra and two matra. The same thing is called in English short and long. Hrasva is called short. Dirgha is called long. Rama, Sita, Usha, all the Akaranta Strilinga Shabdas. Okay. So Varna, Swara, Matra. Then the third one is Balam. Right. Balam is what? You give stress or you articulate it. How? Pa. What is next word? Pa. Pa, pa. So pa is different from pa, correct? One is Alpa Prana and Mahaprana. That's how the Sanskritam language is. It uses all organs. So you can see that one. So first I told Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita. Okay, Matra is what I told. Then Balam. Balam is what? Strength or force of articulation. Like Bhagavan. But we use only one word. Ba we use for bha, bha, ma. Doesn't work in that way in Sanskritam. You have to be very, very clear and very articulate. That's very important. That's how you need some training in chanting mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, not Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Meaning changes. And there, to begin with, there is no Bhagavate word. Bhagavat, Bha word is there. Okay? So that becomes very important. Balam. Sama. Sana means uniformity. When you chant the mantras, there has to be uniformity. Means the pitch has to be one and the same. Okay. Santana means continuity, duration. Sometimes words are conjunct consonants. And you have to say together. And also, you have to complete the mantra when you chant. Sometimes, we are so busy in this digital world. So we thought, oh, that's interesting. We went to Gurukulam and learned Sahana Avat. Om Sahana Vavatu. Then you suddenly remembered you have to call office some important thing. And finished all that. After a half an hour, Sahana Bhunaktu. Because Sahana Avatu, next word, there is a connection. Whole mantra is one unit. When you learn the mantra, you can split it the way you want it because you are not familiar with the word, you are not familiar with the swaras. That is allowed. But once you learn the mantra completely, then you cannot just take a liberty to stop wherever you want it. You have to follow the script. So remember, number one is It is Vedic chanting, a perfectly formulated oral tradition. And there are 6 sciences. One of them is Shiksha. Shiksha means science of pronunciation. And point 3 is it has 6 components that is called, that is Varana, Swara, Matra, Balam, Sama and Santana. And mantra should be chanted. You should not sing mantra. But we do here Om Bhurbhuva Suva Tatsuvitruvarenyam. It's somewhere, but mantra should be chanted. And there is a rule. So with this rule, and also when you chant mantra, you should not be Giti. As I told you, should not chant the mantra. Shigri. Shigri means what? For sake of chanting, you just keep on, what he's chanting, he doesn't know, and person who is listening to it doesn't know. So that's how they don't understand what this person is doing. So the no interest is created there, because mantra is sound ultimately. That sound is absorption. A lot of new people talk about the sound, its benefit, etc. You can refer to it. So then you should not be Shigri. Shigri means one who chants fast. Okay. Then Shirakapi. Shirakapi means when you chant the mantra with the swaras, with the notation, in the beginning, all of us have that habit of nodding our head. Om Sahana Bhavatu. That's okay in the beginning, but as you learn it, you should know that the swara is part of the syllable. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu. So that is the third one, Shirakapi. Tatha Likita Patakaha. What is Likita Patakaha? Without actually knowing the meaning. It's very difficult to know the meaning even for us. But what you have to do, once you learn it, you have to go through the scripture, whatever you have learned. And the mantra. You may not remember all the meanings when you chant the mantra, but at least you have gone through once the mantras that you are going to chant. Okay? Likita Pataka, that is then Anarthajna. Likita Pataka means we should not use a handout. Anyway, we don't fall into that category. All of us are using handout, so no more discussion about it. But as you chant regularly, taking caution of all the rules that are prescribed, then it grows upon you. You not have to memorize. And when you memorize, if you start remembering the meaning, then it takes you somewhere. Om Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Means what? Overlordship. Then your next word you don't remember. So best thing is when you chant properly, but try to read the meaning beforehand and chant it. No problem with that. Okay. Likita Pataka. Then Anarthajna. Alpakantascha. Alpakanta means a feeble voice. All of us have some voice. You have to train the voice. Culturing the voice, they call it in music. So, Shadete Pataka. Suppose we have any limitations listed in this, you work upon them and try to improve your voice, try to read it, the meaning, etc. These are few more things are added. And mantra, the hymn is called mantra. One is chanting shlokas. You chant Bhagavad Gita shlokas. There are no swaras there, but other 5 ingredients are there. Varana is there, Matra is there, Balam is there, Sama is there, Santana is there, kind of. But when you chant mantra, so it is called, anything that comes from the Veda is called mantra. Mantraha. Or they also give etymologically, meaning mananat trayate iti. I mean, when you chant the mantras, all the disturbance that I am having in my mind is kept aside for a while. That's what you do it in meditation. So mantra plays a very important role when you do meditation. For example, you are chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. The similar thoughts. Om Namah Shivaya means what? My prostration, my pranams, my namaskara to Lord Shiva. Shiva means what? Shivam Karam, one who is auspicious. And this thought is used as an anti-thing, like suppose there is another thought. You have a friend who is called Shiva. He was a bit mischievous. So then whole story takes from somewhere else. Om Namah Shivaya. Then you say my namaskara to Lord Shiva. That way mantra plays a very important role even in meditation also. So keeping these few rules of Vedic chanting, we will try to learn few mantras here and few shlokas in 20 minutes. So all of you have handout. Open the third page that has got Sahana Avatu mantra. I will chant for you. Listen to me. I remember Varana, Swara, Matra, Balam, Sama, Santana. Not that all the 6 they come together, but you have to remember them. Okay, here under Sa there is a line. It's not typo or anything, it is Swara. And above the Na there is a diacritical mark there. No? So it means you have to go up. Same thing in the second line. Same thing in the third line and the fourth line, and only in the fifth line at the end it's called Hai. Hai, there are 2 lines are there. The line above the syllable you have to go up. The line under the syllable you have to go down, and the 2 lines is elongated there. Okay, let us demonstrate that mantra with this application. Okay. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai. No swara there. It is called Ekashruti. No swara. Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So there's some it's called Sandhi. Sandhi means what? 2 words coming together in proximity, some change takes place. That's what you remember. If you want to explore more into it, then you have to join Sanskritam classes. The dot, Shanti, followed by another shakara. Shakara means the syllable sh. There's a double sh there. Not the beginning, between 2. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Clear? It is, but if you individually chant it, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. But there is a Sandhi rule. When these words come together, you cannot chant them individually. You have to join them. When you join, change takes place. That what is the change? One extra shakara is added there. Remember this? Okay. Remember as long as you are here at least, okay? Right. Now I will chant the whole mantra for you. Listen to me. And one mantra you can all chant together later. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Start. Om. So rishis might have seen us chanting. That's how the one rule they told, What is that? Unification of the voice is very important. They know our limitation, but anyway, so when you chant, it's okay because in the group it is very difficult to remember. So now you remember all the rule and also meaning is provided. You can read for yourself. The second mantra. The second mantra, first mantra belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. Means what? When you study Upanishad, like Taittiriya Upanishad is one of the major Upanishads. There you see the Shanti mantra. When you see the Shanti mantra, you can say, hey, this belongs to this Veda, Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda. The second one is the Shukla Yajurveda, like Ishavasya Upanishad. There are 11 major Upanishads. We are supposed to study when you decide to be a student of Vedanta. 11 Upanishads are there. So the second one we are going to chant is Purnamada mantra, which is very important, which is chanted in our classes. Only the difference here is the first mantra Sahanavatu has Udatta, Anudatta and Swaritaha. But this one has all the way, it is Anudattaha. You can ask who made these rules? Why they are making it so complicated? Well, that is the tradition. I will give you Rishi's phone number, you can call them up. So, this here there is no Udatta and Swaritaha. Okay, I'll chant for you. And very important point to be remembered here, we come to the Shanti. The first Shanti is what? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Under the Tha, there is going down. Second Tha, you go down. And third Tha, you go up. Correct? But when you chant this Shanti, the going down is under Takara, under Shakara. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It is not Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Is it clear? Here, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay. I'll chant for you. Listen to me and repeat after me as usual. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Not Shanti, okay? Remember. So 3 Shantis. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika. Why thrice you say Shanti? Because Shanti means peace. Why you have to say thrice? Once you say Shanti, be quiet. but we say be quiet, we keep repeating, correct? One is one Shanti for what? Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika means what? Obtained in oneself. Like the traditional example is given. Let me see whether I have got the notes. Jara Shirarogadi. Jara means temperature. Shiraroga means headache. When you don't eat properly, sleep properly, whether you like it or headache is waiting for you. So they say the adhyatmika, whatever the inconvenience at the level of the body, at the one's own self, to pacify that, one Shanti. Okay, but that's not enough. Then environmental things are there. There are two things environmental. So what is all chora vyagra bhayadi. Chora means in the olden days they covered, but here whatever it is here, some kind of environmental thing. So to pacify them also, you say Shanti, Shanti. That's how thrice it is told. One is for oneself and two for environmental purposes. Okay. So this mantra I'll chant one more time for you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Chant. Yeah, it is sure that you have to register for the next camp. Not for only chanting, for other things also. Okay, so that's the Vedic chanting. You have to remember 6 components as we already discussed. Next is chanting the shloka. The swaras are not there, fortunately. So, meter you have to follow. Meter is what? The meter means there is units are there. One unit will have 8 syllables, 9 syllables, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, goes like that. So only one shloka we will learn. Swamiji chants here. This is this. You can chant 13th syllables and you can take a stop there and continue. We'll try to learn that shloka now. Vishvam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahihi udbhutam yatha nidraya yas sakshat kurute prabodha samage swatmanamevadvayam tasmai shri guru murtage namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtage. Same way, the second shloka also runs. Bijasyantarivankuro jagadidam. Prang nirvikalpam punaha. Maya shakti maya kalpita. Desha kala kalana. वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महा योगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. Good. Sahana Avatu we already read. This is a conducted tour, New York, and they sitting in the bus, they will show all the places. Similarly, all the shlokas we are trying to cover. Okay. Next one, Bhagavad Gita Dhyana Shloka. Okay. Same thing. This is Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. Next shloka also continue in the same Yam Brahma Varnendra. Okay. Couple of shlokas will learn. The text that you are studying is Aparoksha Anubhuti. Swamiji already explained to you what is Aparoksha, what is Pratyaksha, what is Aparoksha, Sakshat Aparoksha. The self is something which is closest to you. Okay. This is the invocation. Before you begin the shlokas, author offers pranams to Hari. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. You read the what you call meaning. Aparokshanubhutirvai Prochate Moksha Siddhaye Sadbhireva Prayatnena Vikshaniya Muhurmuhu. So are these shlokas. And third one we'll learn. Brahmaivaham Samashantaha Satchidananda Lakshanaha Naham Deho Hyasadrupaha Jnanamityuchyate Buddhaihi. So all the shlokas runs in the same meter. They are called Anushtap Chanda. Then the same way they are chanted. So a beautiful shloka. That is how the author introduces. It's attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. So Aparokshanubhutirvai Prochate. You can read the translation. Here the idea is that the body, this is the view of the Laukikayatana. Anyway, Swamiji will explain that to you. Let us not get into that part of it. But this is a beautiful shloka and you can always remember this. So this is all about Vedic chanting in 45 minutes class I can share with all of you. There's a lot of things to be known, but when we have more occasions in our other camps, when you are here, we'll share those deeper significances of Vedic chanting. Just remember, this is the oral tradition. That's how it's called Shruti. Shruti means what? Yeah, heard, hearing. So Vedas are also called Shruti in the beginning. When we got the scripture, then we started using them as scriptures. So earlier it is all Karana Parampara. What is Karana Parampara means? You listen from the teacher. Even now on also traditionally when you go anywhere, where the traditional teacher who has studied well all the Vedas means depends how much disc I have inside. That's how in olden days we have still surnames. We all carry our surnames now. To begin with what? Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. Dvivedi means what? The person who had studied 2 Vedas. Studied means what? Studied, memorized, understood. But someone studied 3 Vedas. They're called Trivedis. And someone studied 4 Vedas. It's called Chaturvedi. But now only surname has remained. It's okay. As long as even we study few things from the Vedas, perhaps that fulfills the last name. If we don't have time to study all the Vedas. Okay. Thank you all for your patience in listening to me. Keep practicing the mantras and the shlokas. It will grow upon you. Thank you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. You have any questions for 5 minutes? Yes. The modulation or intonation mark, as I told you, Vedically they have a meanings. So to protect or to keep the meaning intact, they came out this mechanism. That's the modulation. And in Vedic science, even the syllable has a meaning. For example, I'm just quoting often, J, you take the word J-A, J, and the intonation mark, instead of underneath, if you by mistake say above, then the meaning changes there. So it's very complicated one to comprehend even. But that's how they came out with what you call mechanism of saving the meaning. So replacement of swaras is will amount to changing the meaning of the words. Usually when words, but here even syllable has kind of a meaning. Meaning means that the swara decides it, modulation you're talking, but they use intonation marks. Yeah. Correct. That's how traditionally it is learned and followed. Okay, thank you.
Namaste. Please note, Swamiji's class is at 4:30. Thank you.